Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. My name is Yulina from English Language Education Department. Today, I will present my analysis of an international journal article for our reading for professional purpose course, taught by Mr. Rudy Haryono. The article I've selected title is Enhancing EFL Learner Writing Skill via Journal Writing, written by Lu Trong Tuan and publishes in the English Language Teaching Journal by the Canadian Centre of Science and Education in 2010. The next is why I choose this article. So, let me begin by answering the first question. First, why did I choose this article? What does it interest me? What is the article about? I chose this article for several important reasons. First, as an English learner myself, I know that writing is one of the most challenging skills to master. When I speak, I can use my tone and gesture to communicate, but when I write, everything must be clear and on paper. This article directly addresses this challenge that all of us face as EFL students. Second, this article interests me because it offers a practical solution, journal writing, that everyone can start doing immediately. We don't need expensive material or special software, we just need a notebook and the willingness to write regularly. Third, I was impressed that this is a real research study with actual data from age 5 university students. It's not just someone's opinion, it's backed by scientific evidence and measurable results. And next, the question is, what is this article about? Simply put, this research investigates whether writing journal regularly can help EFL students like us overcome common writing difficulties and improve our motivation to write in English. The author conducted a 13-week experiment comparing students who wrote journals with students who didn't, and the results are quite remarkable. The next is difficult word explanation. First, difficult word. Before diving into the content, let me explain some key terms that appear through this article. First, EFL stand for English as a Foreign Language. That's us students learning English in Indonesia, where English is not the primary language. Second is fluency. In writing means the ability to write smoothly and produce text without excessive pausing of hesitation. Think of it as writing flow. The third is accuracy, means writing with a few grammatical errors using correct grammar, vocabulary, and sentence structure. Four, intrinsic motivation, as refers to doing something because you genuinely want to, not because someone forced you. It's internal desire rather than external pressure. Fifth is an extensive activity. It's a learning activity we do regularly outside the classroom, like homework, but more continuous. These terms are important because the article measures how journal writing affects both our fluency and accuracy, and whether it builds intrinsic motivation in students. Next is the problem. First, the writing problem. Now, let's explore the main content of this article. The author begins by identifying why writing is so difficult for EFL learners. According to the research, there are three major problems. First is lack of motivation. Many students find writing boring and stressful. Why? Because we know our teacher will read our work with critical eyes, looking for mistakes instead of enjoying the writing process. We become anxious about evaluation. The author quotes that when we know someone else is the teacher whose eyes may be critical, most people feel uncomfortable. This fear kills our natural desire to write. Second is shortage of idea. When teachers assign topic, students often feel they have nothing interesting to say. We're forced to write about subjects that don't connect to our life or interests. The research quotes a scholar saying, being a loss for ideas is a familiar experience to most of us when we are obligated to write. Even worse, as one expert notes, if our learners say may not have enough idea to write down, or even worse, they have nothing to say. Third problem is time pressure. In a classroom setting, we must finish our essay within a limited time, maybe 4 or 5 minutes or an hour, but real writing doesn't work this way. Professional writers take time to plan, draft, and revise. The article can explain the time pressure to often an unrealistic constraint, and some students take much longer than others to write. Meaning, many never finish their classroom essay. These three problems create a negative cycle. We don't enjoy writing, so we don't practice, and because we don't practice, we don't improve. Next is the solution. So, what is the solution? The author proposed journal writing as an extensive activity. First, what exactly is journal writing? It's simply keeping personal notebooks where we write about our daily life, our idea, our opinions, or anything that interests us. Unlike classroom essay with assigned topic, journal writing is personal and voluntary. We choose that to write and to write it. So the benefits are numerous. First, journal writing helps us develop a regular writing habit. As one expert quotes in the article says, the more you practice writing, the better you will write. Second, it reduces our anxiety about mistake. When writing journals, we focus on expressing idea rather than worrying about perfect grammar. The primary aim is to encourage students to become involved and interested in writing without excessive concern about errors. Third, journal writing provides many more opportunities to practice. While our writing teacher might only check 3 essays per semester, with journal writing we can practice several times per week and receive weekly feedback. Fourth, it helps us generate ideas. Through regular writing, we learn to discover ideas through process of writing, meaning the act of writing itself helps us think more clearly. Finally, journal writing creates a valuable dialogue between teacher and student. The teacher reads our interests, understands our thought and feeling, and provides personalized guidance. This builds a stronger relationship than traditional classroom interaction alone. The next is research and result. Research findings. Now, let's look at the actual research and its impressive result. The study design. The researchers worked with age 5 second-year university students in Vietnam over 13 weeks. Students were divided into 2 groups. An experimental group of 54 students who wrote journal plus did regular assignment, and a control group of 41 students who only did regular assignment. Both groups took pre-test and pre-test to measure their progress. Next is result for writing fluency. The experimental group, the journal writers show remarkable improvement. Their average essay length increased from 109,679 words to 21,555 word, again of almost 19 words or 9.58%. The control group only increased by about 8 word or 4%. Even more impressive, students who wrote journals were much better at finishing their essay. The number of unfinished essays in the experimental group dropped by 6.67% compared to only 14% in the control group. Next is research for writing accuracy. Here's where journal writing really provides its value. The experimental group reduced their error from an average of 23 mistakes per essay to just age mistake that's 64.64% reeducation. The control group only reduced error by 29.17%. The thing about this, students who wrote journals cut their error by nearly 2/3 in just 13 weeks. Next, overall score. The experimental group average score improved from 6.04 to 7.53 points, an increase of 24.67%. The control group only improved by 7.32%. This means journal writing produced more than 3 times the improvement of regular classroom instruction alone. Next is motivation result. Result for motivation. The survey data show that 75% of students enjoy journal writing and found it useful. About 18% spend 13 minutes or more daily writing their journals. Most remarkable, 77% said they want to continue writing journal even after the course ended. Listen to what one student said. I can learn and remember many vocabularies, review grammar, and especially improve my writing skills. Another student wrote, if I had written journal many years before, my English would have been very good now. This shows that journal writing builds in strict motivation. Students want to write because they see the benefit, not because they forced to. Next is conclusion and personal reflection. So, what can we conclude from this research? The evidence clearly shows that journal writing is a powerful tool for improving EFL writing skills. It enhances both fluency and accuracy while building genuine motivation to write. The key is regular practice is a low-pressure environment where we write about topics we care about. For me as a student, this research over an action plan, we can start keeping English journal today. Write for 13 minutes daily about our life, our goals, our reaction to what we learn. Don't obsess over perfect grammar, focus on expressing ideas. Then ask teacher or friend to give us feedback. I believe this article offers valuable guidance not just for English learner, but for anyone wanting to improve writing skills. The principle is simple. Practice regularly, write about meaningful topics, and seek supportive feedback. Next is reference. The full article is freely available at the link shows here. I encourage everyone to read it if you're serious about improving your writing. Okay, it's all from me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.